What's up guys, Neon Gamer Guy here, and today I'm bringing you Around the League episode 2. So in this episode today, I'm going to give you another look at my table I made and at the current table of the BPL and see, you can compare the two and see how my table is doing so far this season. So let's just take a second to look at those real quick. As you can see from the table, I only got number 1 Manchester City right and number 6 Arsenal right. There are a couple that aren't far off, only 1 or 2 spots, and I'm hoping by the end of the season it'll all settle in and it'll look closer to my table. So starting off, we're going to talk about games that have happened this week. So not a surprise, Manchester City beat Watford, and they're looking like the early favorites for the BPL champions. They've got 12 points from 4 games, and they beat Chelsea a couple weeks back, so they're looking very strong. Now here's a little bit of an upset. Crystal Palace beat Chelsea 2-1. Now Crystal Palace has been doing pretty well, and Chelsea has not been doing too well this season. So you could argue that it wasn't an upset, but Chelsea were the league winners last year, and they got beat by Crystal Palace, who is generally like a mid to low table team. So we're a little bit surprised to see him beat a team with such talent as Chelsea. Now Crystal Palace is 2 on the table right now, which is a little bit surprising, and we'll see how they do. Now Leicester City in number 3 played against a not very impressive AFC Bournemouth team, and they drew against them. So that could be a bad sign for Leicester, and we'll see if they can stay at their high spot in the table for now. Now a little bit of a surprise, Swansea City lost Wilfred Boney recently, who was their star striker, but that didn't seem to matter when they beat Manchester United 2-1. Could this be a bad sign for Manchester United? Probably not. Next week they have a game against Liverpool, and Liverpool is my favorite team, so I'm hoping Liverpool can come through. But against a team with such talent as Manchester United, we'll just have to see how it goes. A team that has had a surprisingly bad start so far this season, Arsenal did beat Newcastle United 1-0. This could be a good sign for Arsenal, but I think they have to show a lot more if they want to be BPL champions this year. Now West Ham United has been absolutely smashing it so far this season, and they beat Liverpool 3-0. Fun fact for you, this is the first time West Ham has beat Liverpool away from home in 52 years. Yeah, 52 years. That's half a century. I think with their new signing, Dimitri Payet, West Ham could definitely be a star team this year and could finish upper table maybe. Now, not much to say about the unimpressive 0-0 draw between Everton and the Spurs. We're hoping to see more out of Everton this year, but we'll see if we can. Southampton had an impressive game against Norwich City, beating them 3-0. There's really not much else to say about that. Aston Villa and Sunderland drew 2-2. Both teams have been on very poor form, and Sunderland is an obvious choice for relegation so far if they don't pick up their game. West Brom defeated Stoke City 1-0. Both teams are on the low table right now, and both of them need points. And those 3 points for West Brom could put them in gear, and maybe we'll see them start performing. So that's all for the games this week. Now we're going to move on to the transfer news. So the transfer market has been buzzing recently, right? There were some big pickups and also some big disappointments. Now Manchester United started off really well in the transfer market. They picked up Memphis Depay and Bastian Schweinsteiger, who have both performed very well for the team so far. But also they had a huge disappointment with Pedro. So for weeks they were saying they were going to make an offer for Pedro, but they never did, and Chelsea stepped in and picked him up. Now Chelsea could definitely use Pedro to turn their game around right now and maybe start working their way back up the table in the BPL. Now Manchester United got very ambitious after they lost Pedro. They went and they tried to pick up Neymar from FC Barcelona. Neymar is one of the star players of Barcelona, and Barcelona knows that, so they were not going to let him go easily. In fact, they weren't going to let him go at all. They extended his contract to a contract of Messi level. They extended Neymar's contract for 250 million euros. Neymar is not going anywhere anytime soon. Alright, now we're moving from one Manchester team to the other. Now Manchester City just picked up 24-year-old Kevin De Bruyne. The Belgian international was awarded Footballer of the Year in Germany when he played for Wolfsburg. Germany has some great talent like Arjen Robben, Thomas Muller, and Manuel Neuer, yet Kevin De Bruyne still received the award over these 3. If that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does. Manchester City paid 55 million euros for Kevin De Bruyne, making that the second most expensive player in British football history, right behind Di Maria, who Manchester United paid 59.7 million euros for last season. So that's basically it for today, guys. I talked about the games, and I talked about the transfer news. I showed you my table compared to the table now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash that like button if you did and you want to see more of this series. Also, subscribe to me. The support means the absolute world to me. And that's basically it for me today. So I will see you guys later. Peace. Both teams are they went for Neymar from Barcelona. Barcelona. Who the frick is Barcelona? Also, don't forget to subscribe. The world means the support to me. 250 million euros contract extension. That was not English at all.